the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, it'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Detroit Pistons. Well, for Detroit, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. And Shaq, we're coming up to the halfway point of the season. Some teams finally getting into a groove after a somewhat shaky start.
Yeah, every year is different. Sometimes it takes a little longer to figure out. But what's most important is you get hot at the right time.
Oh, that's right. I agree with that. And you have to have a lot of experience on your team. And those guys know how to pace themselves. And you can just kind of relax. Quality veterans won't allow the season to be a sprint. It's a marathon.
Tip-off coming up shortly. It's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
We're coming at you from the Palace of Auburn Hills in beautiful suburban Detroit as the Pistons prepare to take the floor. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, our game analysts, and from the sideline, David Aldridge. And just a single game trip away from Cleveland for the Cavaliers. And, of course, Isaiah Thomas. Coaches and fans enjoying seeing how he fits into the game plan and lineup here with his new team.
And speaking of the trade, I spoke to him earlier. And, man, was he excited about getting the opportunity at a fresh start. He thinks he'll be able to get them to that next level. And I'm sure that's what their thought process was when they made the deal.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, Stan Van Gundy remains one of the most demanding coaches in the league. Dwight Howard played 5 seasons for him and gave Van Gundy a lot of credit for the growth of Pistons big man Andre Drummond. He's going to push you to the limit, said Howard. His whole method is to get the best out of you. Throughout all the yelling and noise, you have to listen to what he's trying to say. Kevin?
At times, a contentious relationship between Howard and Van Gundy, but you see the respect there, sir. DA, thank you. We got a battle at center tonight. What will you be watching there?
Yeah, I think these are two franchises, Kevin, that obviously pride themselves on what they do on the defensive end. It all starts there. Their philosophy is championships begin there. And if you're talking about defense, no better position to start from than the center spot. Two great rim protectors that we're going to watch tonight.
Make a difference. They certainly do. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So on the floor for Cleveland, Smith and LeBron filling out the wings. Jay Crowder out there with Tristan Thompson. And it's Thomas in at the point. And Thompson gets it to go.
Yeah, I think the activity level that Tristan Thompson plays with on missed shots is something every NBA player can learn from.
Jackson against Thomas. Drummond a screen. Bradley passes to Drummond. It's rebounded by Cleveland. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
And I really felt in watching that game that they needed to abandon the three-point shot. It wasn't there. The percentage was horrific, but yet they continue to try and knock them down.
You know, the opportunities were there to shift gears, pound the ball inside perhaps, but that wasn't the strategy going in, and they elected not to alter it.
Tolliver kicks to Jackson. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Oh, strong move to the hole. Really used his height and reach to just drop it in over the smaller man.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. The screen from Thompson. Thompson sets the pick for Crowder. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Smith. It's up a 3. That shot no good. Bradley with some nice D. Jackson dishes to Drummond, feeds it to Harris. And stolen by James. And here's the fast break. LeBron leading the way. Count it. LeBron's got his first points of the game.
Well, that's just why LeBron is LeBron, right? His ability to make something happen on defense and finish with flair on the opposite end.
Now here's Jackson. A 17-point game for him in the win against Golden State. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. They get it back. Here's Crowder. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Crowder's got his first points of the night.
This guy puts yeoman's work on the glass. He works so hard to get second chance opportunities.
Lobbed up there for Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
That's just too easy. No one with size willing to switch over, and that left the smaller defender stranded.
The Cavaliers leading by 4. Thomas with the ball, guarded now by Jackson. Knocked loose, stolen by Jackson. Ball going up court. Uses the glass that time, and it's good. Jackson's got his second basket of the night.
Beautiful mid-range jumper. Just knows how to use his size advantage to get that shot off.
Thomas passes to James. To the paint, Thompson. Rebound, Andre Drummond.
All the credit goes to the defense, preventing a terrific finisher like that from throwing it down.
Bradley kicks to Harris. Expanding his range. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Smith dishes to Crowder and misses it off the right side of the rim. The Pistons have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Shot from 16. Here's Tolliver. He nails it, and we're tied up.
I'll tell you, that's some gritty work on the offensive glass. Staying active and coming away with second chance points, just so crucial.
Thomas passes to James. Thomas kicks to James. Goes up the baseline. And another miss by Cleveland.
Well, he almost never misses that shot, guys. But you know he'll take it again if he gets another good look.
Cleveland's gone 0 of 3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game. Smith dishes to Crowder. The quick look, no good that time. The Pistons have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Hard to believe that a player as talented as Drummond slipped to number 9 in the draft, but that's what happened to him. You knew the potential was there, and you know what? He's lived up to what he can do.
Yeah, and I remember the fears were he was just too raw coming into the NBA. Always had an NBA-ready body, and he is physically imposing at times. But credit him for working hard to play to his strengths. It's why he's developed into a star. No question he got bumped on that shot.
Detroit shooting their first free throws of this game.
Shooting free throws.
That one is off.
And you know, if you ask any great player what separates good from great in terms of the NBA is confidence. And Reggie Jackson has never been short on having confidence. I mean, he feels as if he's been a star ever since he came into this league and just needed the opportunity. And I tell you what, I think he's right. I mean, he's made the most of it coming over to Detroit and did not skip a beat. And I tell you what, Stan Van Gundy is very happy to have him at the helm of that point guard position.
LeBron with it, picked up by Harris. Outside Thomas. Tries to snap the cold streak. That one doesn't drop. And it's Detroit the other way. And when you think about Reggie Jackson's demeanor, you can see the confidence he plays with. Goes right at the taller players. Loves to be challenged by the big name players too.
And it shows most in the fourth quarter. Reggie is the kind of player who wants the ball with the game on the line. He might not always come through, but he isn't one to back down from a challenge.
It's good.
LeBron was anticipating that catch and shoot. Nicely done.
For Detroit, they've gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Harris a screen on Thomas. LeBron against Jackson. Takes it from 10. The shot is good off the backboard. Jackson's got 9.
He has not missed a shot in this quarter. They've tried running different things in him, but he's been unstoppable.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers. Doris, a lot of great young players come into the NBA. Which do you think could be the best in the league in a few years?
Well, I think certainly Anthony Davis comes to mind because of how skilled he is. We were talking earlier about the 5 position, how it's changing. You know, you've got Anthony Davis who's now stretched his range to 3-point. He's got mid-range game. He can go back to the basket. He's dynamic in the open floor and a real presence on the defensive end. I can't wait to see what happens with Anthony Davis.
Well, somebody taught him well when he was young because his handle's good and he plays almost the position like a point guard.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think that's the key. I think he played that position earlier in his career because he had that great growth spurt. But I think Anthony Davis, you know, it's about the skills certainly, but it's about the work ethic and the IQ, and he's got the whole package.
Smart kid. Here's LeBron following the score by Reggie Jackson. Crowder kicks to LeBron. Just 5 on the clock. LeBron sets the screen for Thomas. Offline with his 3.
That was an extremely weak screen. I mean, he clearly didn't want to sacrifice his body right there.
And it's Harris off the drive, and it goes down 2 points.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Lures checked in for Anthony Tolliver. The Pistons have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
Well, I tell you what, it didn't take long for everyone to recognize that Andre Drummond was going to be a dominant rebounder in this league. He just inhales everything within his reach out on the floor. And then he's got that great blend of length and strength to get after every miss. Incredible feet and hands to go along with that. And this is a guy that just has superstar written all over him.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
And they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
You know, it's been hard for him to find the range this quarter, but I do like his aggressiveness.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now, here's Thomas. 14 points from him the last game against Golden State. James wide open. Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
You know, the defense will not make that mistake again because next time he's going to knock that thing down.
That pushes it to double digits. And that's now 11 points for Reggie Jackson.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
LeBron against Jackson. James, the pass to Crowder. The offensive rebound. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Drummond the screen. And here is Lure. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Jackson misses. The Cavaliers trail by 8. In the corner, it's James. Outside Thomas. Fires for 3. Good on the 3-point shot. Thomas got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And really, how about the quick release on that triple there, because he's given up a lot of height in that matchup.
Yeah, if it was inside, he'd have a hard time getting that shot. But beyond the 3-point line, he has a little extra space to let it fly.
So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Marjanovic checked in for Andre Drummond. Stanley Johnson comes in for Tobias Harris. Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Bradley. And Smith subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Now here's Korver. And right now he's averaging about 7 points a game. It's stolen by Smith. And, oh, here we go. Smith's got it. The fast break chance. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Korver dishes to Williams. Cleveland moving it around for three. Fry. That one's not going to go. And the Pistons now going the other way. The Cavaliers beat them last time when these two teams met in Cleveland.
Well, I mean, they lost their last matchup with this team, and foul trouble really plagued them throughout the game.
Nothing wrong with aggression as long as you're smart about picking your spots. And let's see if they can be a bit more disciplined this evening.
Williams kicks to Shumpert. There's the three. Rebounded by the Pistons.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Smith the pass to Lewis. Excellent D there from Williams.
He needs to complete that opportunity. Really shocking he botched that one.
Kept alive. Fry dishes to Shumpert. Back to Fry. That's a miss, his second after two shots.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
I'll tell you, just his mere presence inside, his instincts for altering shots, exceptional.
The Cavaliers trail by 7. There's the pick. Kicks to Shumpert. Shoots the three.
Yeah, really like the defensive focus and intensity at the start.
Pass to Lure from past the arc. That one misses. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Oh, that's blocked. And that'll be Cleveland as it goes out of bounds. Cavaliers retain possession. On the wing, Korver still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Out to Shumpert for the three. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
Boy, you just love Shumpert's pre-shot routine. Gets his feet set, ready to catch and release. Beautiful.
Bullock kicks to Johnson. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Now here's Rose. They really needed more from him in that loss to Golden State. And that one comes up a bit short.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
He knows it. He just got locked into scoring mode and couldn't get out of it.
Yeah, easy call.
Pistons have shot 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight. He's off on the first. That's off as well, so he misses both. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Korver gets a wide open look. Off target from three-point range. Here's Bullock, guarded by Shumpert. Lets it go from 11, and that one goes long. From downtown, oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
What a three at the horn as they end the quarter on a high note.
Boy, that was the perfect end to the period. You have no idea how much effect those buzzer beaters can have on a team's momentum.
And a chance to hear from former number 2 overall pick Derek Williams about his focus offensively.
Just getting to the basket more, being able to finish with the defender in front of me. I think getting to the line a lot more as well. I think, getting to the line and finishing at the basket.
2 huge improvements for him. Greg, can he do more?
Definitely. He's already taken a big leap forward, and there's plenty more room for him to grow. He could become a real beast in this league.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another, as intense as I've seen.
Well, they trust each other, and that's something you establish in practice and in games, and you don't see a ton of miscommunication out there.
They've got Marjanovic. Johnson is out there with Anthony Tolliver. Then there's Reggie Bullock, and it's Smith in at the point guard position. That's the 5 on the floor for the Pistons.
Extremely fortunate they didn't lose the ball there.
Here's Shumpert. Outside Williams. The dish to Korver. Smith against Rose. 5 on the clock. Tipped away. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Pistons.
And when you look at that chart, concentrate for a second on what they're not doing. They're not getting a lot of threes from the corners. That's something that has to change. Makes it much easier to defend the team when you know they can't score from the corner.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, LeBron James has stepped up over the years, both on and off the court. Of course, he plays with that reckless abandon, but off the floor, he's been very involved and vocal about social issues. And more dramatically, he entrusted his marketing empire to his childhood friends. LeBron recalled, people called it the worst decision ever. All this to 3 guys who didn't finish college. We got dirt thrown on all of us, but they always believed in him. Kevin, you can't say it hasn't worked out.
He's broken the mold, D.A. Thank you. Pistons leading by 4.
You know, one thing I think that Derek Williams...
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes your gut tells you to take a shot at the pick and then big move to keep the pressure on.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam. Shumpert, no good.
Boy, very surprising he clanked that one. Everybody in the building thought that was down.
Here's Bullock. Doesn't go that time. Shumpert with some nice D. He feeds it to Fry. The shot goes down and he gets this game back to even.
Well, you really have to like the control of Shumpert there. Lets the play develop and made the pass for an easy hoop. Nice.
They set the pick. Williams with the steal. Oh, here comes Williams all alone. Johnson with the block. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Here's Bullock, guarded by Korver.
You know, the accuracy on that assist was perfect. He hit him in the dead run, exactly where it needed to be.
Shumpert passes to Williams. Back to Shumpert. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Shumpert's got the game tied up here for the Cavs.
Oh, you love to see Shumpert get down and dirty underneath, finding ways to score inside. Such a scrappy player.
He lobs it up, and Marjanovic with the slam.
And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. Here's Rose after the basket by Detroit. Here's Williams. It's hauled in by Tolliver.
Ooh, that's stifling defense. Excellent effort.
Marjanovic kicks to Johnson. Fires from deep. Rebound by Williams. Williams has got 4 rebounds in this game. Tolliver with the bucket.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And Shumpert kicks to Rose. Here's the 3. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. Here's a look at the teams that have been dominant offensively over the course of the past month. The Cavaliers 4th.
I just love their offensive flow lately. I mean, this is a dominant team offensively because of that rhythm and pace.
Smith outside. Here's the screen. He kicks to Bullock. Can't connect from short range. The Cavaliers trail by 4. Here's Rose, and the rejection by Smith. 3-on-3. Lets it go from 11, and all around the rim that time before dropping in. Bullock's got his first points in this one. And Shumpert kicks to Rose. Pick by Williams. The feed to Fry. Rebound by the Pistons. Marjanovic has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. To the right side. Shumpert with the steal. Rose against Smith. Shumpert. No basket. Missed number 5 out of his 8 shots. Pistons leading by 6. Smith dishes to Tolliver. Back to Smith. A leaner. It's deflected. And the wide open shot from Rose. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Rose has got 7 points in the game.
And such a tough cover off the dribble is Derrick Rose. When he stops short for the pull-up, you're really at his mercy.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
And the Cleveland Cavaliers winning the first title in franchise history, upsetting the favorites, the Golden State Warriors. First time ever a team returned from a 3-1 deficit in the finals to win it.
The first one falls. And GA, the Cavs are now the hunted team. Do you like their chances of repeating as champions?
I think they've got as good a chance as anyone, and probably better because they really have owned the East. If they can stay healthy, no reason to think they can't do it again.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Drummond's checked in for Marjanovic. Harris comes in for Anthony Tolliver. Avery Bradley, he's checked in for Stanley Johnson. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Smith.
There's some of that trademark consistency of his at the free throw line.
The screen from Thompson. James sets the screen for Smith. Off target with his 3. Pistons leading by 6. And it's Harris off the drive. And the shot goes in. Harris has got his second bucket tonight.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Thomas kicks to James. Rebound by the Pistons. In the corner, Bradley with it. The pass to Harris. Back to Bradley. And he elevates with a slam. Thompson did not like that.
Oh, my. He's just getting nasty on him now, fella.
You know, now that they've built up a lead, this is when he really breaks out the really slick moves. Timeout called, Cleveland. And going back to when you were growing up, Doris, which players did you admire and look up to?
Magic Johnson. I was a point guard. I obviously didn't have Magic's size, but I loved how much Magic wanted to make the people around him feel great about playing the game. And just with a smile on his face, you know, we all love and are passionate about the NBA and playing the game of basketball. And so he was a guy I really loved.
Well, no one enjoys the game more than you. I'm just being around you, watching you broadcast. I know you love it. At all levels, you love the game.
If they're tipping it up, Kevin, I'd like to be there.
You're watching, that's right. And the Pistons making a change here. Luer's checked in. Screen by Smith. Off the screen. Off the left rim and out.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
You love the confidence, but that's a situation where they really needed a better look.
Now here is Harris. 10-point lead. This is their biggest. Jackson misses. And the Cavaliers pushing it up now. James with the ball. And there's J.R. Smith on the assist by James. And it's 6 points for Smith.
Just an example of what sets LeBron apart from everyone else. The ability to set up his teammates for easy scores while being so dominant himself.
That one drops for him. Bradley's got the lead, back up to 10 now for the Pistons.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
James, the pass to Crowder. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Crowder's got his second bucket.
You know, solid low post possession on that one. I mean, that's where you want the points coming from. Nice high percentage looks.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. Left side Jackson connects from three-point range. Jackson's got 14.
Boy, he's been dead-eyed tonight, and the whole team has prospered from that.
The Cavaliers trail by 11. Thomas kicks to James. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
And checking out some numbers for Reggie Jackson. This last month, he has been a real positive for this team. He's getting around 16 points a game, 11 assists, and 3 rebounds. And his playmaking really stands out, making his teammates better offensively with his terrific passing.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 14 to the middle. Trying to find Bradley. Gets it to him. From the arc, another 3 for Detroit.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Thomas against Jackson. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from Isaiah Thomas.
And how about the terrific use of the crossover there to just throw the defender off balance?
Jackson kicks to Drummond. Tries to save it. Inside. And Lure gets it to go. Lure's got the lead up to 14 now for Detroit.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
And it's sent back by Drummond.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Here's Crowder. It's not going to go for him. And Detroit the other way now. Here's Jackson, and the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
There's got to be some defensive help there. I mean, the size difference is just too great.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Timeout called, Cleveland.
And you look back on the Pistons, and whenever that group has had success as a franchise, it's always driven by a team-oriented concept. I mean, yeah, they've had stars, Isaiah Thomas, Chauncey Billups, but at the heart of all their title runs was a group of 5 guys that just played for each other.
And thinking about the Pistons and their history of winning with pure team basketball, Greg, you can see that this is what this group is always striving for.
And Kevin, this group right now reminds you a little bit of those Pistons teams of the past. I mean, they're founded on defense. They got that tough mentality in the paint. You've got to be excited about this roster they've assembled here in Detroit.
Now here's Thompson. He has been a nice option for them offensively, and he's averaging more than 17 points a game. And the wide open shot from Crowder, good, and the assist goes to James. LeBron's got 3 assists tonight. Pistons leading by 13. Over in the corner, Lure fires the 3, and another 3 for Detroit.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Cleveland's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Outside Thomas. Smith outside. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Here's Jackson. And the miss, not the best shot selection there. The Cavaliers trail by 16. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line.
Shooting one.
That one on Harris.
What about the strength from Thompson there to go up, take the hit, still convert the play? Nice.
And Tristan Thompson, one of the premier offensive rebounders in the game. Second overall, in fact, in offensive rebounds last year.
Look, Kevin, this is a guy who makes his living around the rim. He runs rim to rim, terrific on the pick and roll. He's a smart cutter, does a good job lurking on the baseline for drop-offs or second chance points.
Now, here's Bradley. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Golden State. Jackson misses. And for the Cavaliers, they're shooting with 42% accuracy in the second quarter. Thomas. Here's Thompson, and it's sent back by Drummond. Jackson with it. Now Thomas defending. It's stolen by Smith. They get a hand on it. Stolen by Jackson. Bradley kicks to Jackson. That one good for 2. Jackson's got 7 now in this quarter.
Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
Here's Thomas. Offensive rebound. Trying his luck deep. That ball can't find the basket. His 6th miss in 9 shots.
He's been so inconsistent from the field, and that makes it hard for these guys to catch up.
The Cavaliers trail by 15. Here's LeBron. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, we know every game LeBron is going to find his way to the line just from his aggressive style.
Cleveland shooting their 2nd and 3rd shots at the line right here. Free throw good, James. And both free throws good for James.
We know that LeBron has always been a good foul shooter. Not a great one, but a good one.
Pistons leading by 13. Here's Jackson. 18 points for him. Drummond a screen. Jackson kicks to Bradley. Takes a shot at the elbow. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And so we wrap up the first half. Pistons lead by 13. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the 3rd quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Reggie Jackson is having one of those nights. He had 18 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. His last game out, he was just not himself. But tonight, he has rounded right back into form with a very solid first half. Taking a look at the Pistons, Shaq, what did you think?
I like their commitment to that inside game, boy. Get it inside to the post. Got to be scoring in the post, splashing to the basket. Just shoot the high percentage shot. No jumpers, no threes. They're being a more aggressive team, the more physical team. They're definitely going to win this game, Ernie.
And Kenny, what'd you see from Cleveland?
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it back to Kevin Harlan and crew. They are standing by courtside.
Welcome back, everyone. The lights of Motown reflecting brightly off the Detroit River. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Reggie Jackson has been sensational.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
You know, he's getting the ball in a place where he can do something with it, and he hasn't had to force one thing. The game seems like it's coming to him naturally.
So on the floor for Cleveland, Smith and LeBron filling out the wings. Thompson is out there with Jay Crowder, and it's Thomas in the point. And the city of Cleveland still aglow from their first major professional sporting title in over 52 years.
They waited a lifetime, Kevin. In the end, it was a native son, LeBron James, who returned to lead them to glory. You just couldn't script it any better.
First free throw is good. And Harris drops them both. Well, Doris, the NBA is consistently evolving, changing all the time. What are the biggest changes you've seen in the league over the years?
Well, this should be an interesting conversation, because if you think about Michael Jordan's era and how little impact the three-point shot had on the game, to the point where 2 years ago, Greg Popovich says, Kevin, and you've been calling the NBA a lot longer than I have, you can't win without the three-point ball. It's simply impossible. Would you say that that's been the single most significant change?
Probably brought more in focus with what Curry and Thompson have done. I love the ball movement.
It's a lot of fun.
The game is so much more pleasing to the eye now than, say, in the 90s.
Okay, and let me ask you this. So we talk about the three-point shot. The other thing with Golden State, and you mentioned Steph and Clay, this small ball, is that sort of a revolutionary thing that perhaps is not going to go back?
Well, the athletic ability, the length of their arm span, the ability to jump, they can almost equal what a big man would do, even in a smaller frame, a different kind of form, and maybe they've been able to adjust that way. I mean, what do you think? It's
as you know, and you know this better than I do, it's a sort of a reactionary league. And so you saw a team like Washington go away from a double low post that got them to the Eastern Conference Finals, try to play small, and they take a step back.
Yes, good point. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, as you know, things could have turned out a lot differently for Stan Van Gundy. He was the favorite for the coaching vacancy in Golden State in 2014, but in the end, the Pistons owner gave him the chance to coach and run the front office, and that led him to Detroit. Now, the Warriors went on to win the title that season, but Van Gundy insists, if I had to do it over again, this is exactly where I'd want to be. Kevin, he can build this team exactly as he wants.
Thanks, DA, and after some tough exits in Miami and Orlando, this time he holds the cards. Pistons leading by 13. Jackson drives in, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. He's made 3 of his 4 free throw attempts in the game.
Listen, 84 is a really good number to post at the foul line, and that's where he's at on the year.
The free throw drops for Jackson. The Cavaliers trail by 16. James outside. He dishes it to Smith. Uncovered. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. James has got 5 assists in the game.
And really, Smith is always looking to fire as soon as he touches the ball. The D has to be more aware of that quick trigger.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 23, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Drummond.
That's a perfect example of why good hands are important in basketball. It just misread that pass completely.
The Cavaliers have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Here is Thomas. He's got 5. Here's Thompson, and Cleveland again with the bucket.
Boy, excellent start to the second half. They've missed just once in 5 attempts.
Thomas against Jackson. To the middle. Charity stripe shot. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. And it's 6 points for Avery Bradley.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, because of the size difference, that's probably not the one-on-one matchup they'd like to go to very often, but it worked that time.
Now here's Thomas, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, Thompson, just a spectacular athlete and so muscular. He is so crafty on how he draws fouls while shooting.
And Tristan Thompson has improved his scoring efficiency, Doris, every season in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Kevin, this is not a go-to scorer, more of a garbage buckets type player, but he's learning how to be effective. And he's also improving as a decision maker. Last season, his best ever assist-to-turnover ratio.
Smith checked in for Avery Bradley. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Cleveland. Rose comes in for Thomas. No good on the second free throw.
Thompson knows he needs to keep working on that free throw shot. It definitely needs improvement.
Jackson in the corner. It's stolen by Rose. And the Cavaliers pushing it up now. Jumps up. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And the one thing about Rose is that, you know, he can still get up for the big matchups. Whenever he faces another great point guard, he seems to play at his best level and loves to push himself and is willing to step up to the challenge. Let's just hope that he can eventually get back to that all-star caliber presence he had just a few years ago.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Marjanovic checked in for Drummond. Stanley Johnson comes in for Tobias Harris. And it's Reggie Bullock in for Reggie Jackson. And so he makes both from the line. And with Rose and his injuries, it's not easy for him to put in a work day every day. But as you said, he can light it up on the big stage.
And that is why he's such a threat. Even with his numbers being somewhat diminished, Rose knows what it takes to be a successful player at the highest level. You only wish he wasn't robbed of so much of his game due to injuries.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
It's ridiculous to give up that many points in the paint. You know, I think he'd like them to play a bit more physical.
Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Dishes it to LeBron. Rose up on top. He's guarded by Johnson. Cleveland moving the ball around. Just 5 on the clock. Rose kicks to Korver. Three-pointer. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Korver's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Cavs. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Here's Smith. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Smith's got his second basket.
You know, probably could have set that screen with a little more force, but it got him just enough room to be able to finish.
On the wing, Johnson, and stolen by James. And here we go, fast break. LeBron's got it. Here's Rose. The shot from the low post is good. Rose has got 11 points.
And that floater is something Rose has been comfortable with since he came into the league. It's only gotten better with time.
Here's Bullock. There's a screen by Marjanovic. It's stolen by Korver. Williams kicks to Rose. The rebound by Marjanovic.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Detroit, no good that time either.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
In the corner, it's James. A three-pointer off the mark.
Almost seemed like he was overthinking that shot. Such a wide open look.
Smith against Rose. Smith kicks to Tolliver. Taken away by Williams. Now Cleveland moving it up. Lets it go from deep. Again, James missing. Pistons leading by 9. Here's Bullock. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 4 assists in the game.
And this collapse we've seen by their interior defense, it's really the reason why they've struggled and are in such a hole.
Their D is getting chewed up. It's time for someone to step forward, put their foot down, and put a stop to these easy baskets.
Now here's James. 10 points for him. They get the rebound. The kick out to Rose. It's stolen by Marjanovic. Passes it to Johnson. No good that time. Good D by James. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Williams. Here's Fry. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Just an example of Fry working down low for buckets. Just superb body control when he has the ball in the low post.
Now here is Smith, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Got a piece of it. Here's James. Drops one in from the wing. James has got 6 points in the quarter.
I mean, he was great in his last game. Clearly, he has not lost that love and feel.
No, he's having one of those stretches where you just have to stand back and admire the work he's putting in on the basketball court.
Now here is Smith down low. Here's Bullock. And he overshot that one, missing.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
And one thing the Pistons have been doing in recent times is honoring the members of the 2004 championship team. Retired several numbers, and rightly so. You know, Gray, that team was special.
And that 2004 had a great cast of characters, many of whom found a rebirth with the Pistons. That team helped continue the us against the world feeling that the franchise had in the Bad Boys era. Hard to express just how much that team meant to the city of Detroit.
Well, something you never like to see, but guys, he definitely looks hurt.
Oh, man, not happy right now. You can see he is really hurting.
You know he's devastated, Greg. Having to come out of this one right now and possibly more down the road, I think everyone knows Cleveland is the team to beat in the East. They steamrolled through the Eastern Conference a year ago. And I think as long as their roster stays pretty much intact, they've got to continue to exert that dominance.
Shumpert is checked in for LeBron. Pistons leading by 7. To the inside, Marjanovic.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Cleveland's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Rose in the post, working on Smith. Rose, no good. And this Cavs team, a veteran-laden group, Doris, no question about that. And they're great, but do they have a way to get even better?
Well, it's interesting because their core players are either at their peak or perhaps on the downswing. And they probably need to look out in the draft or free agency to move the needle from here.
And Kevin, plays like that, really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Look at them. They are really into it.
The other bench deflated because that was a rough sequence for the defense. They hated to give up those points, but did nothing to stop it.
Just a good, solid, aggressive finish there on the break.
Yeah, he didn't need any assistance on that one. He had it handled all on his own.
Now, here is Smith. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
And he makes the first.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Both free throws good from Smith.
Well, Cavs coach Tyronn Lue, of course, taking over midway through last season in unusual circumstances. You know, says he was blindsided by the change and described it as, quote, a whirlwind. That's a tricky position. You don't want to throw too much new stuff at the players all at once.
It's stolen by Korver. Here's Shumpert. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going.
And this is a bit of a nightmare game
for him thus far. Just nothing working, and it has to be affecting his confidence. He just doesn't look like the player he normally is out there, and you can see it in his body language after every missed shot. Boy, this is tough.
That's good from Shumpert.
You think about Iman Shumpert coming out of Georgia Tech, a defensive specialist certainly. He's battled through injuries these last few seasons, but when he's right, guys, this guy's a quality caliber wing.
And both free throws good for Shumpert. And Shumpert not a great offensive player, Doris. He especially struggled shooting the ball last season.
Well, I think, Kevin, you have to wonder how much that wrist injury held him back. To fill that 3-and-D role, they need him to hit a few more threes.
The Cavaliers trail by 9. Korver dishes to Fry. Rebound, Detroit. Marjanovic has got 11 rebounds in the game. Jackson in the corner. Pass to Luke. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Good D by Williams. Cleveland's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Here's Marjanovic, and Marjanovic with the slam.
Agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
Well, the Cavaliers shooting poorly, just 35% so far. Outside jumper. From deep, Rose. It's good from long range. Rose has got 9 points in the quarter.
And Rose has shown himself capable of knocking down that three when he's got some daylight.
Rose against Smith. Jackson in the corner. It's hauled in by Fry. Fry's got 8 rebounds in this game. Rose kicks to Shumpert. Williams for 3. Rebounded by the Pistons. Marjanovic has got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort.
I'll tell you, they're trying to cut into this lead, but he has not hit one this period.
And now in transition, here's Williams. Here we go. Pull up Jay. It's good. Williams has got his first basket of the night.
Boy, with his athleticism, such a dangerous finisher in transition.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. And Channing Fry, a three-point specialist at 6'11". It's a shot he didn't really utilize in earnest until his 5th year in the league.
Now think about it, Kevin. It's like he flipped a switch. It's become the staple of his offensive game, and he's a trendsetter in that regard. Very tough to defend that pick and pop at the top of the key.
A different look here for Detroit. Andre Drummond's checked in for Marjanovic. Harris comes in for Johnson. And Bradley's subbed in for Smith. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Fry. Jay Crowder comes in for Derek Williams. J.R. Smith's checked in for Kyle Korver. And Thomas subbed in for Rose. A chance here to get a quick injury report.
Hi, guys. The head athletic trainer of the Pistons gave us some information. Right now, he's saying it might be a severely sprained ankle, which is something every player hates to hear. He won't return to this game, and he could be looking at a very long recovery process. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, and folks, we will, of course, keep everyone updated as we find out more.
And you know what? He could have a long road ahead in terms of getting back on the court. But one thing we all know, he's never been shy of hard work.
Yeah, his fortitude is tremendous. He's going to keep rehabilitating at the highest level until he's back out there with his teammates.
And that one's good. Drummond.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Shumpert against Bradley. And Shumpert kicks to Smith. Crowder is screen on Harris. Just 5 to shoot. For 3, Smith. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 13 with that last one. And yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. No good on the free throw. So he comes up empty at the line. Feeds to Jackson. From 17 feet out. The second effort. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Plays like that, the hustle plays on the backboard, the second chance points that have really caused problems all day for the defense.
Well, that tells a story. I mean, they've been far and away the more aggressive team, not just on the boards, but all over the floor.
Free throw good, Drummond.
And done a much better job from the line this half. They've gotten that percentage up over 80 for the game.
Smith with it. They set the pick near the three-point line. It's Thomas. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Pistons ahead. They lead by 13. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. The Cavaliers trail by 13. The big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Avery Bradley is out there with Jackson, and it's Harris in at the 3. That's the group for Detroit right now.
Well, you really like to see Smith go to work inside there, always looking to expand on his game.
Here's Jackson. J.R. Smith making his last shot. Jackson passes to Drummond. Over to the left wing. And here's James outside. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got his 3rd assist on the night.
It has been a 3-point barrage for them since halftime.
I mean, unbelievable. Whether they're wide open or defenders draped all over them, they're hitting from distance.
Bradley. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. That free throw good from Avery Bradley. Both free throws good from Avery Bradley. Here's James. No one near Smith as he lets it go. No good with the triple.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area. Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
And you know he's not going to back down anytime soon. It doesn't matter if they're trailing or holding a lead like they are right now. He's going to keep pouring it on.
Down low, here's Crowder. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
You know, that's just intelligent basketball. Put that pass exactly where it needed to go to set up the shot.
On the wing, Jackson. He's guarded by Thomas. Here's Drummond. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to go on Tristan Thompson.
I think it's clear J.R. Smith settling into his role as a three-point specialist as his career tends toward the back 9. You know, he can still elevate and finish above the rim when the opportunity presents itself, but he knows his role.
No good on that one. And Smith with size and athleticism, we all know pretty good at hitting contested shots.
Well, Kevin, we know he's got no conscience as a shooter. His motto is, when in doubt, shoot the ball. His decision-making obviously questioned at times, but the way he shoots it, it's not a bad idea.
Second free throw, no good. The Cavaliers trail by 10. James dishes to Thomas. And Tristan Thompson on the bucket with the assist by Thomas. Thomas got 4 assists in the game. Outside Jackson. To the paint. Here's Drummond. And it's Drummond with the jam. And that's a double-double for him now. 11 points and 16 rebounds. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Crowder is screen on Jackson. Thomas kicks to Smith. That 3 off the mark. Pistons leading by 10. Outside Jackson. There's a good screen. Drummond in the post. He's covered by Thompson. Smith against Bradley. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Drummond passes to Tolliver. No good with the triple. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Cavaliers trail by 10. Now here's LeBron. Smith right side. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Bradley against Thomas. And it's on a bounce to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Amazing. The quickness, the eye-hand coordination of these guys, extraordinary.
Harris kicks to Drummond.
A terrific job. Thompson relying on his length to get his arms up and challenge the shot.
Crowder dishes to James. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. LeBron James, Doris, known obviously as a great leader. In fact, Mike Miller, one of his teammates, called him the best teammate in the world. But last season, he was called to task for some of his actions.
Right. Well, Kevin, there were some social media messages which seemed to be sort of criticizing his teammates in some measure, hanging out with Dwayne Wade and talking about getting different teammates. And, of course, between the lines, he was as great as ever. You know, the message from the coach, clear. Focus on your team. Keep it in-house.
And both free throws, good for James.
And they came out of the locker room after halftime with a much more physical approach than what we saw in that first half.
Now here's Jackson. Here's Harris. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And that one misses. Well, Doris, we know so many teams rely on threes and layups. Is the mid-range game still relevant in the league?
It certainly is to a guy like Sean Livingston.
It is indeed.
I mean, that guy specializes in it.
Good example.
Yeah, listen, I like the mid-range. I don't think you can eliminate any of the 3 levels of the game. At the rim, in the mid-range, or at the three-point territory. To me, it's all important.
I wonder if defenders sometimes, though, feel like that's that gray area where they don't know, should I go out? Should I play him only deep? I think sometimes that creates a lot of question. That mid-range game can be equally as effective.
Well, you have so many organizations who philosophically will say we only want point-blank layups or threes. And so if you've come or been exposed to that mindset, it sort of messes with you. I just, in the analytics era, I would say I want balance.
Yes. Now, here is Smith to the inside. No good from LeBron. Now Drummond. And stolen by James. Thomas down low. Jackson on him. Outside Thomas. James outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Stolen by Jackson. Now Detroit moving it up. And it's in there.
They are just killing them on the interior.
What's up?
Cleveland foul. J.R. Smith. His second personal, 14.
Derrick Rose is checked in for Cleveland. The free throw drops for Jackson. The Cavaliers trail by 16. Outside Rose. To stop the run. Thompson, great positioning on the putback. That gives him a double-double in this one. 11 points and 16 rebounds.
Yeah, guys, that's exactly why Thompson is one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. He just knows how to pick spots underneath the glass.
Now here is Harris. Here's Bradley. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And after attempting no free throws in the first half, now he's putting the defense back on its heels.
Detroit down on the floor. Avery Bradley.
That free throw good from Avery Bradley. Good on both. The Cavaliers trail by 16. Looking to end his cold spell, and it's sent back by Drummond.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Hits the three-point bomb.
Don't underestimate him. He can knock that down.
For Cleveland, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. Inside, the kick out to Rose. All sorts of time. That's short off the rim.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Here's Bradley. Kicks it to Jackson. Off the mark and a bad shot there.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs. No doubt that is within his range.
I think that's exactly what you're looking for on the break. Finish right at the rim.
Down low, Tolliver kicks to Drummond. Here's Jackson. Out to Harris. To the middle. Worked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. The Cavaliers trail by 17. Rose with the ball. Guarded now by Jackson. Rose passes to LeBron. Thompson, a screen on Jackson. Inside. And Thompson gets it to go in on the assist by LeBron. James has got his 8th assist here tonight. Outside Jackson. Pass to Harris. Here is Tolliver. Stolen by Rose. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. And that'll be his third foul so far.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
In the corner, it's James. No good on the triple.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
You know, it feels like he's forcing things, getting a little frustrated by not letting the game come to him.
Now here's LeBron following the missed shot by Tobias Harris.
Yeah, LeBron James will inflict pain at the rim when he gets free like that.
And here's Bradley. Jackson with it. He's picked up by LeBron. Bradley dishes to Harris. Expanding his range. A second chance effort. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
Shooting free throws.
That free throw missing. He hits the second from the line. The Cavaliers trail by 14. Outside Rose. The dish to LeBron. He feeds it to Thompson. Back to LeBron. The putback. They shoot again. And it's laid up and in by Thompson. Thompson's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Whoa, sizzling from the field this half, and that's after a shaky start.
Drummond a screen to the middle. Stolen by Thompson. And it's sent back by Drummond. And they'll keep possession. Stolen by Jackson. Bradley kicks to Tolliver. Detroit, no good that time either.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Yeah, he gains good position, then gets out on the shooter, affects his rhythm.
And it's Smith missing.
You know, they're trying to battle back, but he's missing shots this period.
It's Bradley on the wing, covered by Smith. Bradley passes to Harris. Good as the jump shot falls. And the Pistons lead by 14. Cleveland's gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep.
That's it. When LeBron is working near the rim, his strength becomes readily apparent.
Now here's Jackson.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Shooting for Detroit, Reggie Jackson.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That's good from Jackson. Cavaliers making a switch here. Thomas is checked in. Both free throws good from Jackson.
Really getting after the defense since the break. He's so hard to keep off the line when he pushes the action.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
And starting to send guys to the line way more than they need to. Let's get some good position defense going here. That should be the emphasis, and get away from the sloppy fouls.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, during the last break, I heard Tyronn Lue talking with his team. He is not pleased, and he told them they have to make a push right now. He said, look, we got to make a move or I've got to pull the plug. Pretty blunt stuff, Kevin. Back to you.
Here's Harris.
Just a good, solid, aggressive finish there on the break.
Yeah, he didn't need any assistance on that one. He had it handled all on his own.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. And so here's Cleveland following the bucket by the Pistons. Outside Thomas. 14 feet away. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Pistons leading by 16. Here is Tolliver. Left side, Bradley. Harris outside. 6 to shoot. Bradley kicks to Harris, and the shot goes in. Harris has got 8 here in the quarter.
You just no let up, guys. They just keep coming at you.
This is as close to a done deal as you can get.
The Cavaliers trail by 18. James with it. Thompson, a screen on Harris. Thompson up top. LeBron against Harris. Thompson sets the pick for LeBron. Shot by Crowder, no good. Detroit's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Pistons.
Looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the board.
They made the most of those extra rebounds as well, Kevin.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
And they're able to even the score of this series at a game apiece. Still, 2 more to go in the season series. And a great team effort, but still, what an individual performance for Reggie Jackson.
Well, he had the kind of performance that showcases all of the firepower he's got in his arsenal and played effective and impressive the entire night.
And Shumpert kicks to Williams. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You know, and that's the key. He is still slippery and elusive. The defense gets caught trying to do too much, and they got burned.
Derek Williams. To set.
And the first one at the line is good. And Williams drops them both.
This is the Pac-10 Player of the Year from 2011, number 2 overall pick in that year's draft. Derek Williams still trying to translate that to NBA success.
Now here is Smith. Johnson right side. Here's Harris. Shumpert with some nice D. Harris against Korver. Here's Shumpert. And nothing but hair on that one.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
He knows it. He just got locked into scoring mode and couldn't get out of it.
That's his first personal foul. Penalty situation. Shooting. Free throws.
And he makes the first. And Lure drops them both. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Deflects the pass. It's stolen by Johnson. The pass to Marjanovic. Smith outside. He kicks it to Udrich. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Alders, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. Now we'll go to the studio with the award-winning Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now it's time to present our Jordan player of the game, Reggie Jackson. He didn't waste any time. The first quarter numbers he put up were frightening and certainly set the table for his team to prosper here tonight.
It was a great game for him, Ernie, and this one he really needed. As bad as he's looked lately, it was important to build up that confidence again and have a big night.
That was the full package that Reggie Jackson delivered tonight. An outstanding playmaker who can score from anywhere on the floor. He was a tough cover tonight and operating at the highest level.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.